Hello friends! It's been a while since I uploaded to this channel because I was reevaluating things. I wasn't happy with the direction of the channel, I wasn't happy with the content I was creating. It really just did not go where I had originally intended it to go when I created it. So I'm like restarting. I'm not going to delete any of the videos, those are reminders of growth, but I am going to change up the kind of content that I put on this channel from now on. It may be a little more spotty because I don't intend to upload every week unless I absolutely feel like it's necessary, but I am going to upload as often as I feel necessary. So what I decided to do is I'm going to reboot my K-pop 101 series from my other channel. I had this series many years ago that I started. I don't watch those videos back because they are cringy, but they're on YouTube if you want to find them. It's really not hard. But K-pop 101 was my series where I introduced different aspects of the K-pop industry to new fans and just kind of explained things in a way that I felt I wished somebody had explained to me when I got into it. I feel like I'm a little more qualified to talk about this kind of stuff, and I'm going to do that. So if that interests you in any way, let us get on to the first K-pop 101 video of the series. Today's video is just going to be tips and advice as far as somebody who's loved K-pop for a while now to new fans who are maybe still a little confused about some aspects of how K-pop works. What I think you should know as far as coming into it with maybe no knowledge. I did ask a bunch of other people what they had wished they had been told as a new K-pop fan. Some of those topics were quite dark because of some things that have happened in the K-pop world quite recently. So if you want me to make one video more geared towards the serious side of being a K-pop fan, I can also do that. I do have the next 7 videos in the series planned, but I will squeeze it in there if enough people want to see it. Let's get into the tips and advice for this video. So first of all, I just want to suggest that if you're getting into K-pop with no knowledge of it, that you start extremely slowly. I myself started with one group, kind of got to know them, got to fall in love with them, and then let myself move on from that one group to find other groups. There are people who start out that will find one song by a group that they like, move on to another group, find a song by them, find another group, find another song, and they have a hard time learning all of these groups because they try to do it all at once. But I am going to recommend you focus on 1 to 3 groups at the most when you first get into it, and then when you feel more comfortable, start branching out after a while. Relating to that, I want to say don't be afraid to expand. I almost felt kind of guilty for giving up the first group that I started to learn because I felt like I wasn't being loyal to them or something by learning other groups too. But it's 100% going to be the best thing that you ever do to move on, not necessarily move on, but expand your attention to other groups. There are people who get into K-pop because they like BTS, but they don't really go beyond BTS because they feel like they're not really a K-pop fan because they only like BTS. But you'd be surprised what can happen when you look a little farther. Another very important piece of advice that I can give is be respectful. There are so many people who come into being a K-pop fan with this strange attitude towards it, and as a fan they gain such a bad reputation for their entire fandom, not just that one person, but for the whole fandom of the group or groups that they like, and that gets kind of twisted into people thinking that the group itself is toxic because their fans are kind of the first impression that you get of a group. You find out about new groups by seeing people comment about it, and when you're seeing negative comments all the time, it makes you think negatively towards that group. A really good example is BTS. A lot of people associate their fandom, the ARMY fandom, as being this big, toxic, rotten apple of a fandom, because there are a minority of fans who are very vocal online, that are not respectful, that are rude, that are big-mouthed, and that just don't care about respecting not only other K-pop groups, but other people in general. They'll bite somebody's head off for saying even the tiniest negative thing about BTS. And that's not every fan in their fandom, but because those fans that are the rotten ones are so vocal, it makes it seem like every fan, or like most of the fans, are toxic and reflects their fandom and the group that way. So if you're getting into K-pop and you have some kind of attitude about like, oh, this group is the best, no other groups compare to them, and oh, this member is the best dancer in K-pop and nobody else is as good as them, either keep those opinions to yourself or think of a way to word it that doesn't sound so shitty. Hopefully you get what I'm saying. Just be a decent human being to other people and don't treat your group or your idols like they're on some godly pedestal, because all of these groups and all of these idols work equally as hard to get where they are, regardless of if they have BTS's fame or not. They all work just as hard as BTS, and they all put in the time and the effort. They should be respected in equal amount as the ones who are getting this fame. It's not fair that some of them, just because they have more media attention, are seen as more important. A very helpful tip that I think every fan should keep in mind is, if you get into K-pop because of a specific boy group or a specific girl group, and you feel like, oh, boy groups are so much better because this boy group introduced me to this boy group and this boy group, or also the same way for girl groups, don't write off the one or the other just because you like one more. I guarantee you, you will always find at least one boy group or one girl group that you like in addition to whatever you're a fan of in the first place. So if you like mostly boy groups, I guarantee there's at least one girl group out there that is going to be something that you enjoy or have music that appeals to you. And the same for if you are a girl group fan, I guarantee there's going to be at least one boy group out there that will appeal to your tastes and possibly make you interested in more boy groups. Just don't write off one or the other because you think girl groups are better or boy groups are better. I see so many people who won't expand to the opposite gender because they think, oh, I don't like girl groups because they're too shrieky sounding, or I don't like girl groups because they all sound the same, or I don't like boy groups because they're too aggressive, or I don't like certain so-and-so kind of group because they're too cutesy. Every group has different concepts, every group has different strong points, and they all have different things to offer, so just keep your mind open. That's like the overall biggest tip that I can give you as far as K-pop is be open-minded. A very important piece of advice that I have to offer you is be prepared to feel kind of alienated and lonely when it comes to K-pop unless you know somebody else or are already active in a community online or something. There's going to be kind of an overwhelming sense of feeling like you're the only one who likes it, or feeling out of place because you like it, because maybe people in your area aren't necessarily familiar with K-pop and they judge you for it and don't understand why you like it because you don't understand what they're saying. Prepare yourself to kind of feel a little out of place, because it's gonna happen if you don't have somebody there that can support you, as in like a friend who likes K-pop. It's an extremely acquired taste that a lot of people don't get and you're gonna need thick skin in order to get into it at first and kind of fight off all the opinions that you're possibly going to get. Just be prepared for total strangers to have an opinion about the music that you listen to. Trust me, it happens and it's weird. I think that was all I wanted to talk about in this video. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I forgot to write all this stuff down, so I kind of was just spewing it off the top of my head. But if there is anything that I didn't talk about that you have a question about and you would like to know more, feel free to leave a comment and ask, and I will do my best to answer if I can. Like I said, I've been into K-pop for several years now, but I don't have the answers to everything. There may be somebody out there who does. That's the beauty of YouTube. If somebody else sees your comment and I can't answer it, maybe they can. If there's anything you would like me to discuss in this K-pop 101 series, feel free to request it and I will do my best to make it happen. I really just want to redo this series and make it a little less cringy than I did before, make it a little more informative, make things just a little more clear, and hopefully help some more people. That's always my goal. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful, or at least just a little interesting for you to watch, to maybe get a perspective from a K-pop fan's point of view. But I'm going to go now, so I will see you in the next episode of K-pop 101. Goodbye.